What if the next SUV to redefine luxury is not electric silence alone, not brute power alone, but a Cadillac bold enough to bring back one of the most legendary badges in automotive history? Because the 2026-27 Cadillac V-16 Concept SUV is not just another oversized premium machine with a giant screen and a fancy grille. This thing feels like a warning shot to the entire luxury SUV world. And if even half of what this concept is hinting at makes it anywhere near production, the segment may never look the same again. You're watching the Car Analyst, where we look beyond the surface and get into what a vehicle is really saying about the future. And this Cadillac is saying a lot more than most people realize. At first glance, it does what every true flagship should do. It stops you, not because it is trying too hard, but because it looks like it already belongs in a different era. Most SUVs still chase the same formula. Bigger body, sharper lights, more chrome, more screens, more badging. But this V16 concept takes a different route. It feels sculpted rather than assembled. The proportions are dramatic, the stance is commanding, and there is this unmistakable sense that Cadillac wanted the body to look powerful even when parked. That is harder to pull off than people think. Plenty of luxury SUVs look expensive, very few look important. This one does. The front end is where the message becomes crystal clear. The grille is massive, but not in a cheap way. It is integrated into the overall architecture with the kind of confidence that tells you Cadillac is not trying to follow trends here. The vertical lighting signature looks razor-sharp, almost architectural, and it frames the face of the SUV like a futuristic piece of industrial design. It does not just illuminate the road, it announces presence. And when you imagine this thing pulling up at night, those lights cutting through the dark, that is when the concept starts to feel like more than a design exercise. It feels like a statement of intent. Look closer, and the details get even more interesting. The surfaces are cleaner than traditional full-size SUVs, yet the vehicle still carries this bold, almost armored body language. The wheel arches are pronounced. The body lines are tight. The wheels themselves appear huge, but more importantly, they look purposeful. Not oversized just for the sake of show, but chosen to fill out the proportions and emphasize the planted stance. That matters, because one of the problems with many modern luxury SUVs is that they can feel visually heavy. This one feels anchored, not bloated. Big difference. And then there is the aerodynamics, which is where old-school luxury and next-generation thinking begin to overlap. You can sense the airflow management in the way the body is shaped, in the cleaner roofline, in the tighter transitions between the front fascia, side surfaces, and rear taper. This is still a large SUV, but it is clearly trying to move through the air more intelligently than the traditional body-on-frame giants people are used to. That tells you something important. Cadillac is not just imagining a showpiece. It is imagining an SUV that has to live in a world where efficiency, range, and real-world refinement matter just as much as visual drama. And if the outside already feels futuristic, the cabin is where this concept really starts to pull away from the old definition of luxury, because this is not simply a nice interior with leather and wood and metal trim. This is a rethinking of what premium space is supposed to feel like. The first impression is serenity, the second is precision, and the third is that Cadillac clearly understands that modern luxury is no longer about covering every surface in ornament. It is about atmosphere, execution, and how technology disappears into the experience until you need it. The dashboard layout looks wide, calm, and deeply integrated, with screen surfaces that feel like part of the architecture rather than giant tablets stuck onto it. That distinction matters more than ever now, because consumers are starting to notice when technology looks temporary. In this V16 concept, the digital layout appears intentional and immersive. The driver display, center interface, and passenger interaction zone all seem to work as one continuous environment, which creates that clean, high-end feeling buyers at this level expect. And then there is the color and material story. If Cadillac goes in this direction, it could set a new tone for American luxury. Soft touch surfaces, quilted seating, layered textures, metallic details, ambient lighting that feels like it was designed by an interior architect rather than a software engineer. It is not trying to feel flashy, it is trying to feel elevated. But the most fascinating part may be what you do not immediately see. This kind of concept almost certainly points toward a deeper AI-driven experience, not gimmicks, not random voice commands that barely work. Real predictive systems. Imagine a cabin that learns your seating position, climate preference, drive mode habits, navigation routine, lighting mood, media taste, even the way you prefer notifications to appear. Imagine an SUV that knows when you want quiet, when you want information, and when you want performance. That is where premium vehicles are heading, and Cadillac seems to understand that the future of luxury is not more buttons or more menus. It is less friction. That same philosophy would likely carry into infotainment and connectivity. This concept feels like the kind of flagship that would run on a deeply integrated digital ecosystem with over-the-air updates, cloud-based personalization, advanced route planning, smart home connection, phone as key convenience, and a software architecture that gets better over time instead of aging the moment it leaves the showroom. Think about how important that is in a next-generation flagship SUV. People spending this kind of money are not only buying materials and design, they are buying relevance. They want something that still feels advanced 3 years from now, 5 years from now, maybe even longer. That is one of the hidden pressures behind a concept like this, and it is exactly why the V16 name coming back on a futuristic SUV is so interesting. It is heritage meeting software-defined luxury. Now, let's talk about the part everybody wants to know, because the badge alone creates expectations. When you hear V16, your mind immediately goes to power, excess, prestige, and presence. But in the context of 2026 and beyond, the smartest interpretation may not be a literal old-school 16-cylinder monster. This concept could represent Cadillac's most ambitious performance identity in a new form, possibly a high-output electrified platform, possibly a hybrid system engineered to deliver instant torque with long-distance confidence, or possibly a layered strategy where the spirit of V16 means flagship performance rather than engine cylinder count. And honestly, that might be the right move, because what buyers want now is not just speed on a spec sheet, it is effortless acceleration, quiet authority, confident passing power, smooth ride quality, and the feeling that the vehicle is never working hard, no matter what you ask from it. This SUV looks like it would deliver exactly that. Picture a dual-motor or tri-motor setup with all-wheel drive, intelligent torque distribution, and adaptive suspension that constantly reads the road beneath you. Picture rear-wheel steering, making this large SUV feel smaller in the city and more stable at highway speed. Picture an air suspension that can lower for efficiency, rise for rougher surfaces, and flatten out body movements so passengers glide rather than bounce. That is the kind of performance story this vehicle should tell. Not loud, not crude, not trying to prove itself, just deeply capable. And this is where the concept becomes even more compelling, because the best luxury SUVs are not just fast, they are relaxing, they make distance feel shorter, they reduce fatigue, they make people in every seat feel like the vehicle was designed around them, not around marketing claims. If Cadillac gets the ride quality right, if the cabin isolation matches the design ambition, and if the steering and suspension are tuned with maturity instead of artificial sportiness, this could become the kind of SUV that people choose not because it is trendy, but because it makes every journey feel better. Safety, of course, is part of that conversation, and not in a dull checkbox way. A next-generation flagship has to feel like it is looking out for you without making you feel watched or interrupted. That means a full layer of advanced driver assistance systems that work naturally in the background. Smarter lane positioning, better adaptive cruise behavior, more human-like traffic response, predictive hazard detection, improved night visibility, high-resolution surround sensing, possibly even a more advanced hands-free highway system that feels closer to true assisted autonomy than what most drivers are used to today. The real luxury is peace of mind, and the real trick is delivering that peace of mind without constantly breaking the flow of driving. This Cadillac concept feels like it understands that. Then comes the practical side, and this is where some futuristic vehicles lose the plot. They look stunning, they promise the world, but they forget that an SUV still has to be useful. This one, though, has the visual confidence of the halo vehicle while still suggesting real, everyday usability. There appears to be enough room for family life, executive travel, weekend luggage, long road trips, airport runs, and the kind of mixed-use lifestyle premium SUV buyers actually live. Spacious, second-row comfort matters. Cargo flexibility matters. Easy entry matters. Visibility matters. And a vehicle like this cannot only be about the driver. It has to make every passenger feel like they are in something special. That is the difference between a flashy concept and a truly great luxury SUV. One impresses, the other earns loyalty. Emotionally, this is where the V16 concept may have the edge. Many modern luxury SUVs feel competent, but emotionally cold. They are packed with features, but somehow forget to create a sense of occasion. This Cadillac, at least in concept form, feels like it wants every arrival to matter, every startup sequence, every nighttime approach, every glance back after parking. It understands that at the top end of the market, people are not only buying transportation, they are buying identity, atmosphere, and the feeling that what they drive says something about how they see the future. And who is this really for? Not just someone who wants the biggest SUV on the road. Not just someone chasing status. This feels built for the buyer who has grown tired of predictable luxury. Someone who wants innovation without losing craftsmanship. Someone who wants technology without a cold, clinical environment. Someone who wants comfort, authority, and design presence in one package. And maybe most importantly, someone who wants their next vehicle to feel like a step forward, not just an upgrade. That is why the 2026 to 27 Cadillac V16 Concept SUV is so fascinating. It is not simply asking whether Cadillac can build another premium SUV. It is asking whether Cadillac can create a future flagship that feels unmistakably American, unmistakably modern, and unmistakably ahead of the curve. If this concept is even a preview of the brand's direction, then the message is clear. The next era of luxury SUVs will not be won by size alone, power alone, or technology alone. It will be won by whoever can blend all of it into something people feel the moment they see it. And this Cadillac feels exactly like that kind of machine. Not just another vehicle, not just another concept, but a glimpse at where luxury, design, intelligence, and presence could all meet in one bold SUV. If this is the future Cadillac is aiming for, a lot of people are going to start looking at the brand very differently. Let me know if you think the V16 badge belongs on a next-generation flagship SUV like this, and if you enjoyed this deep dive from the Car Analyst, drop a like, subscribe, and share your take, because this is one of those vehicles that deserves a real conversation.